every time we have a piece by one of these artists, people want to find out more. So when you get all of these artists together, there's an energy that's created, and all of these artists are also connected to Arte Americas. They've supported Arte Americas, so they are all kindred to each other, to the spirit of what we're doing here, the mission of Arte Americas. So it's very, very exciting. There are these threads, and it's really incredible and beautiful that those threads have brought you here today. So what I want to do is I want to introduce you to some of the artists that are here featured in the exhibition. And I just have three simple questions here, so everybody will just answer the same questions. Our next guest, our next artist we're featuring is Rebecca Caraveo. Rebecca Caraveo was my co-curator for a while, and she worked with me here tirelessly to really kind of bring a different level of artwork to what we're currently doing here at Arte Americas. But in addition to that, she hosts a radio program featuring old-time country music, country western, called the Big Fresno Barn Dance. She used to have a television program. She's the lead singer of a rockabilly band called Catty Ness and the Revenge, known internationally. She was on French television with a French rockabilly band, in fact, doing a couple songs, YouTube. And also once a year, she does private tours to Paris. So she's a photographer, a professor of photography at Fresno City College, and she has work here in Kindred. My big sis, Rebecca Caraveo.
Oh my, Frankie D. It always gives me a lot to live up to, but yes, I do all those little things, and I try to share that with my students. Do what you love, right? It's the important thing. When I started, put this up a little bit, because I'm a consummate professional here. I'm a teacher at Fresno City College. I teach photography. It was never in the plan. I saw a student or two of mine here just a bit ago. But when I started, my dear friend I started with is running the video machine back there because, hey, we have no degrees of separation in Fresno, right? Yeah. You know somebody or you know who they're related to. It's just the way it works here in the Valley. And I remember when I started, and I still have it, because I was always an expert at hand coloring photographs, like vintage photographs. I like old things. Therefore, I play old music, and I go to old places. But on my little box of colors for hand-painting photographs, there's a fortune that says a candle doesn't lose anything lighting another candle. And that is how I've always felt about it. So yes, I'm basically a Fresno native. I've lived here since I was 9. My dad was from the Valley, and he was a career serviceman, and we grew up in Europe. My mom's European, and he'd always say, someday we're going to move to California where the sun shines every day. And I never want to move away. I never want to move away because I love it here. And so just being in love with life and my friends, and my dad passed away really young. So I'm always that live for me Wyatt girl. If you know the reference to the movie Tombstone when Doc's dying and Wyatt, right, he says, live for me. So I make sure I do a little bit of everything. May not be great at all of it, but some things I get down, and it's been a beautiful ride. So life is what inspires me. And I did have the honor to work with Frank in radio, and when he moved here, he asked me to come help him a little bit to organize things, and we did. And you can see in 5 years what a wonderful place Arte, even though it's been around for 30 years, it's really, really now flourishing. And we really thank you, Frank, for that, and the community thanks you. Voted the best gallery in town. After 30 years, the very, very first time it's had that honor. One of the things I'm most proud of, and that is part of my next, what's next for me in art, is the women's show that's coming up next. And we started it 4 years ago, and it was called 1 Degree of Separation. And we asked the women artists who had shown here to invite someone that they admired artistically and wanted to see their work hanging here. So now it's going to be our 4th year and 4 degrees of separation. So thank you for being here, and thank you for cheering us on and loving our work. You want to chat with me? These days, my show is all about iPhone photography, and I can show you how to make you use your phone a little bit better. So, thank you.
Just give me some great advice in the past. That's always very grateful.
Evolve into something else, right? What you love, you love. Meet more people who love the same things. You know, you're even. It's
I'm here with the great Rebecca Caraveo. Oh my. Well, you know, you covered pretty much everything during Frank's talk or his introduction. Yes, and I'm just so proud of you to see that you're doing all these things, and the list goes on, and it's all true.
I'm telling you, you know.
So, you know, okay, this series, do you have, okay, give me 3 special pieces, because they can't all be favorites because they're like your children.
Well, I do have, I generally have been showing my pictures of France. I've been taking the people to France for about 10 years now, and kind of emphasized on Paris. But I thought for this show, when I finally get to show at Arte, I wanted to make it a little bit more about the valley. So some of my favorite pieces are the Tower District sunset.
And we'll get close-ups of those.
I thought that was spectacular. And these all come from my iPhone, okay? When you photograph with your phone, you can only make your pictures so big. And the biggest I make them is 8 by 8. So these are a little bit less than 4 inches. Another favorite of mine is McFarland. McFarland from the freeway. I mean, this is basically from the freeway, just the valley town, and just shows the beautiful history of the valley, really. And your kitties, okay? Yeah, my kitties.
Your kitty, Becky and her kitties, okay?
Yeah, they're all rescues, including Grady, who was an Arte. Oh. He lived here. He and his aunts and uncles lived here. I had one of my rescue friends come. We got them all fixed. I snatched the babies. Now they're big fat guys.
Oh, good. Rescue.
Exactly. So everybody's a rescue, right? Uncle Lance, he's passed away. He was 18. Wow, I know. So I want to say my little Fresno one at night. I love that. That's from my windshield in my car. Don't do that at home.
That's what Fresno really is.
You gotta drive, right? It's a big town. Yeah, and I love that. I work a lot downtown, so I'm in the car, and I've got one hand on the steering wheel and the other hand on my phone.
Yep. Well, Rebecca, thank you so very much. And
thank you for chatting.
More and more success. The only way to go.
Exactly.
Okay.
Onwards and upwards.
Yes, thank you.